What's up, Nelson?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Where's everybody at?
What do you mean?
Where's Damien?
Vacation.
Rob.
Rob's
He's
never
here. What about Ryan and Matt? Where are they at?
Yeah, where they at?
That's actually a good question. I don't know where they are.
So you're saying the bosses aren't here?
You know what that means?
Hop open the beers.
Beers.
Let's go.
Man, are you sure is the only place that we can get this?
Well, no. I mean, GameStop probably have it too, but I really don't like giving them any money,
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Hey, I don't wanna go to work today. Wanna stay home and play all my video games on the One Up Show. You know you'll be a star on the One Up Show. You already are. Every day, this life's a holiday. One up, 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 one up on the One Up Show. One up, 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 one up on the One Up Show.
So I haven't played that much of the new Hot Shots yet. I know you guys have, but I was a big fan of Hot Shots 3 and the other two before that, but I think I put like over 100 hours into Hot Shots 3. When I started Hot Shots 4, I was surprised at how similar it felt to the last ones. It always starts with a nice long par 4, and then the second hole is always like a really short par 3 that's like after the tee's up high and there's a drop and you're holes down there. I feel like it's the same basic course structure that they've had for most of the Hot Shot games.
I really like the new one. I think it's like kind of recaptures all of the fun that I had with the old games, and it does change it up. I don't know if you tried the new swing meter that's in there.
Yeah, I only use that in fact.
You need to use the new meter.
Yeah, I think the new meter is actually a really good thing. I mean, it doesn't, in play, it's not that much different than the old meter that you had before, but the reason I like it is because it gets you looking at your character model rather than at a little meter below your character model. So now you have to focus on the actual swing. I'm sure, and I got really good at it. I'm to the point where I can pretty much get 100% power if I want it, anytime I want it. And I've always liked the subtleties of the spin mechanics and stuff. I'm sure, I don't know why I've never played like a Tiger Woods game or anything like that. I've always liked the more arcadey feel of it, but it is still somewhat of a simulation, and it's about kind of learning the dynamics of how wind works and whether or not you need to take into account some slope or some physical thing that's in front of you.
The difference between you guys, I never played any Hot Shots game before in my life. I was always Tiger Woods. Basically because my dad, he was like into it. So
yeah, that makes sense.
He's like, I need somebody to play with. Yeah, it's pretty simulation oriented. And then when I jumped into Hot Shots Golf, then I was like, at first, I was like, okay, I can't stand the deformed characters and stuff like that. But then I'm like, well, okay, that's the style. All right, cool. So how's it play? And I tried the old swing mechanic thing, the little power meter at the bottom, and that was driving me nuts at first. Then the swing meter was awesome, just in terms of like comparing it to like a simulated golf game. Like it's just like below that, like for like the casual player to just jump in and like have a fun game. And then like with the multiplayer that we were doing, where you could do like the simultaneous matches.
That's my favorite aspect of it, is the multiplayer, because they have it's online and it works much better than I heard. The Japanese version had all kinds of horrible problems in online.
They basically had a tea time. You had to like go and set a tea time for you and your group, and then come back when you actually had set up as your playtime, which is
ridiculous,
absurd.
It's a little too realistic for such a cartoony golf game. But the lobby you play in when you go online, it's like. It's like the worst version of Home, like PlayStation Home you can imagine. And we created these horrendous little super deformed characters, and I was so excited to use them to play golf, but then you get stuck with the same schoolgirl sluts.
Oh, so you can only use them in the lobbies?
Yeah, it's just lame. But also, I think we had a lot of fun too with the PS3 quick text editor, because we basically have enough time to put in a few quick words, and you know how it has like autocomplete. in the like the T9 style like text editor.
right.
So we would just all of a sudden string together sentences of nonsense words. It's like
Asparagus bomb or something like it. It's just like something weird. Like
it became a meta game to come up with the most absurd sentence structures like after each hole. Like yeah. When you're like out on the in the middle of the fairway or whatever, you'll see like other players, their balls land. It's all ghosted, and it's just like one thing too that is about the single player game and multiplayer. As you're playing, you swing the ball, you knock the ball up. You don't have to wait to watch it land like in the last games. You can hit X and it'll jump right to where it lands. So you get in these marathon games, like a nine hole game will take 5 minutes because it's just boom. You swing, you hit X, you see where your ball lands. You just go. The only thing is, I hope other players will play as fast as me and won't just sit there and swing and watch the ball go and land, and then and then you're stuck at the end of the hole waiting for everyone to catch up.
The championship mode or whatever, the challenge mode of the single player trains you to play that fast because so much of it is playing the same. It's playing the same courses over and over again. There's ostensibly no difference in the like rule sets between. It might say like, oh, we're gonna play the holes out of order. This time it's the front 9. This time it's the back 9. But after you've done it like 7 or 8 times, you feel like you've been doing the same thing over and over again. Now it's golf. And so that's fun because you're just perfecting your shot and getting better at the game. But I got to the point where I could just speed through it. You get really good at it really fast if you play the single player.
I didn't see it show up in the single player game as much as it did when we were messing around with the multiplayer modes. But like the different penalties that you could like set up for multiplayer, like suppose you hit a bunker, you'll get like 2 over, or if you go off the course, you'll get 2 over. And so like there'd be rounds where it's really close, and all of a sudden like you finish like 5 over, and you're like, what the fuck? And it was because like you tried to get through the trees or something, and like you didn't make it and landed out of bounds, and so therefore there's more penalties. So it was neat that it offered it for the different types of players that would go in, and like the conservative one that's like, I'm going to stick to the fairway and do that, and so then you'd have the rebellious guys like, I'm going to just through the trees and like over the bunker and stuff like that.
Conservatively? How can you play hot shots conservatively? You have to hit it through the trees. So it means that there are big rewards for people that are willing to take the risks, and if you
it's not quite as nice as the new pair of slacks you'll get in a Tiger Woods game, because that's always the hot shit right there, a nice pair of plaid slacks.
Yeah, you got to get those.
But you do get, you build up loyalty in your characters in the single player game, which is kind of cool. It's not like Mario Golf to any extent at all. It's not role playing like that, but you do build your skills as you play through the game with your single player guys. So
I was happy with that. I'm playing as a slutty looking like maid or something like that, and she keeps getting new different colors of clothes, and that's really fun. I mean, I like that the caddies give you a little bit of help in this game. Yeah. Like it's not a big thing by any means, but if you were new to the series, like when my roommate walked into the room, he saw me playing, and I was on a green, and that grid pops up that shows you the how slopey it is, and he couldn't read that at first. He didn't know what the hell it was showing me, and so if it was your first time playing, the caddy does say like, oh, it's sloping to the right and you're going uphill, so you should hit it a little hard or something like that, and that little bit of help might be enough for some beginner players.
Yeah, totally. And this is a game, I mean, I don't play golf in real life. I actually think it's really boring. But this is a series that I've always loved. And it almost feels to me like it's kind of a Sunday afternoon relaxation game. It's not a prime time, Halo 3 or Call of Duty 4 like kind of game where you're, or it could be something you go to after, say, you've been playing Call of Duty 4 all night and you want to relax and bring back your adrenaline level a bit, and you can just go on for some quick games of golf. And it is like very relaxing.
Why is it that I'm not a fan of golf either, but I've always liked golf games, and I don't like tennis, but I've always liked tennis games. I don't know, there's certain sports like golf just works as a video game, it doesn't take up miles and miles of space that could be used for low cost housing,
Right. Yeah.
It's just simple, it's just relaxing, and it's just fun, and
it's just timing. It's very much a game, you time it just right, and there is a lot of taking the wind into account, and there is a lot of subtlety in the new swing meter, so it's just
aside from the online play, there aren't any other major new features. It's kind of, like I say, the same sort of thing you've done before. But it sounds like the online play, the way they've handled it with the ghosts and stuff, may be enough to recommend it if I would say if you're not tired of hot shots, it's definitely worth picking it up.
Right. Yeah.
Or if you played it a long time ago, like PS1 days, and you skipped it on PS2, and that old flavor sounds like good to you. You want some of that thing that you used to have, because it's not different. It's just more of the same, but refined, I would say.
I'm trying to remember the full name of it.
Off-road I know, you can fuck it up.
Just off-road.
Just 3
Velociraptor
words.
Safari.
3 words. You got it right.
Okay.
Off-road Velociraptor Safari.
Okay.
Say it 10 times fast with ice cubes in your mouth, and I'll get you a drink.
By Flashbang Studios.
Flashbang Studios.
That's
it's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Does what it says in the tin.
The moment that really hit me how bizarre this was when I, hit a jump and
got a good view.
It's slow mode. I got a good view of the driver, and I recognized that my driver was not actually a human safari hunter. It was another Velociraptor.
So
killing other
the
Velociraptors.
realization that cool, I'm a cannibal.
Yeah, I'm
that's the one thing that could have made it any better.
And it's something like you're a Velociraptor.
Yeah, like
trying to
killing
send
other
a lot.
Velociraptors and sending them through time to make hamburgers out of them or something.
Right, something like that. Like they need meat in the future, and for some reason your Velociraptor knows this.
I don't give a flying fuck with the excuses. The point is you drive around and you kill raptors.
Right.
And in stupid ways.
I have to say, best dinosaur-based jungle driving simulation out there. So
Kind of a backhanded compliment. Well, yeah,
Definitely
don't add qualifiers. Don't add, say, for a game where you're cannibalizing your own breed, or for a browser game, or for a free game, or for fuck all that. It's just a really, really good game,
Right.
And it's just a perk that I don't have to pay anything for it.
okay, besides the story, which doesn't, I mean, if you can call it that,
Yeah.
it's really just all about hitting other
It's-
dinosaurs, racking up points, doing stunts, and
It's a sandbox
wash,
game.
rinse, repeat.
It's a
So-
literal sandbox game. I mean, and there are like point rewards for every stupid little thing you can think of doing. I mean, like you can drop a chain out of the back of your Jeep
Right.
and like hit a raptor with a spike ball, and then like fling it and hit another raptor with it.
Right.
And just kill raptors with other raptors, clothesline them, fly off a palm tree, and
Right.
bash into one.
Like the other games that are in that same vein that came before it, Carmageddon or
Oh yeah. I was
Road
gonna ask
Warrior.
what the hell you meant, because I've never seen anything.
I know.
like that.
Well, back even Twisted Metal or something like
Yeah.
that actually has sort of a mission structure. This is even more
It's
GTA or open-ended,
it's completely open.
And yeah, what makes it even funner when you see a ramp, in the middle of nowhere, and then there's 2 Velociraptors on the way, and you want to, rack up the points.
Yeah, you get multiple chains. Like every time you kill something, you get a kill chain. Every time you do a stunt, you get a stunt chain. You try to keep them up.
Right.
And it's pretty much, I don't know. People, that's the other weird thing is there are achievements in there for doing a ridiculous number of things.
Yeah.
And also like a leaderboard. And you can see where people have like really clearly been gaming it. It's like they
Right.
found that one spot where you can just keep on jumping over and over again, and that doesn't matter too much. Let them do that if that's what they get off on. I mean, it's not really high-end 3D or anything, but it's more than enough for what it does, and it's stylized enough that you don't even notice.
True.
This would like make a great N64 game. This would make
Right,
a good virtual
right.
console game.
Right. There was a heated discussion on the board, on one of the indie boards, talking
Yeah.
about why the fuck does he have feathers on his tail, or why is he dropping a trail of feathers as I'm hitting them?
Well, one, because maybe it's accurate, and 2, because it looks fucking cool when you hit something and feathers fly everywhere.
That's true.
So,
Well, then the second part is when you hit something, it always does this
Ragdoll
this
bouncing around
ragdoll,
shit,
Velociraptor ragdoll physics.
the
where-
physics are fantastic. I
They
mean,
are.
If you're like trailing one on a chain, or you're trailing like 2 or 3 on a chain,
Right,
and,
right.
and it's like screwing up your driving, but just enough to make it really challenging. And you're trying to hit off a bounce and then like drop them so they fly into a teleporter or whatever.
Right, right.
Yeah, it's really, really involved for such a simple game.
Get out there, play it. You'll wind up enjoying, 2-3 hours at least, of good.
No, I still go
Clean
back to
fun,
it once in a
you know?
while when I have a few minutes to screw off.
Yeah.
You know, And I love the guys making it. They have a great sense of humor. Their next one is what was it? Jetpack Brontosaurus.
Jetpack Brontosaurus, yeah.
Which apparently it's just they've got like really weird neck physics. It's like
well, see, that's what else makes these games or this game at least specifically really fun. What I really want to know though is, are you once again are they going to keep the continuing theme, having a dinosaur kill their own breed?
Who knows? The tension is unbearable.
I would tell most people, get past the initial barrier of, it being
of whatever your expectation is.
Right.
Guess,
And then just go out there, play it,
Force around.
All right, let's do it. It's on.
Welcome to MLB 08, the show. MLB 08, the show. Nothing gets you closer.
If you play through the first one, you get to the end, and there's the big betrayal at the end, and you're standing on top of the dam, and so you go to the first one thinking, "Oh, great! Now we're gonna go hunt after. We're gonna go chase him, right?" And it's like 5 years ago in France, or wherever the fuck you are, and it's like, what?
Bishop, over here. We haven't done any preview coverage on this game, so we had no idea what was in it at all. And we went and bought the game on Wednesday morning, went straight home, and played all the way through the whole co-op campaign.
So we should talk about that, because they finally let you play the entire thing, jump in, jump out.
It worked.
Sharon, Miguel is in a hazmat suit and running towards the residential area.
Damn, so that's how we did it. We're inbound.
All the chat, all the cutscenes, everything. Because the last one, it was kind of somewhat stripped down 4-player co-op.
Right.
But this, it's Gears of War, basically.
We have a vision camera, so we did get to make our own faces again on the characters.
Which is better this time.
It is much better.
The last time it was really hard for it to act, and it would think about it forever. But now it seems faster and easier for you to map your face. And then the other thing in multiplayer is that the faces pop in faster.
In the co-op campaign, it only took about the time it took for the loading screens and the helicopters to take place. It seemed like once we fast-trapped out of the helicopter, the character spaces were in, or at least I didn't notice anyway. It is ridiculous to look over on the other corner and see Matt standing there and me standing there with a dumb grin on my face when I'm reloading my gun. I don't know, it makes it more fun. You feel like the actor in this weird, dumb, poorly written play.
It's been a while, D.
It has. You look different. I'd like you to meet our negotiator, Lieutenant Monroe.
Lieutenant?
Our hostages are here to unveil a new communications tower. Revolutionary stuff.
It's unfortunate almost that it has to be tied together by a narrative, because without the narrative, you'd be like, well, why am I in this building? Why am I doing this thing?
Yeah.
I wish they could hire an actual Hollywood scriptwriter.
Monroe will stall them while we set up. Let's see what your recruit can do.
All right,
Sir.
let's do this.
The second player was like your recruit, you know, you're the commander, you give the commands. I think that was kind of one of the weird things about the game is that Matt couldn't order the troops around, only I could do it.
So if you're doing like a hit the room from two sides, you have to coordinate the whole thing. Right?
Yeah, basically I had a squad,
Yeah.
and Matt was running around as like a solo agent. I mean, I know it wouldn't make sense from a story perspective, and that's why I'm glad they did it the way they did, but it would be cool if he controlled one of the guys, I controlled another guy, and together we had these little two-man like hit squads that went from door to door. And
So more like Gears of War, I guess.
Yeah.
Although they upgraded the AI on your buddies, they still, you have to nanny them through everything. Like, you tell them to go, like, breach and clear this door, and they'll do that, and they'll go into the room and they'll shoot everybody, and then they stand still.
yeah.
And if you go into another room and then go, okay, go there,
They have to run all the way up.
but they don't. Sometimes they'll just stay where they are and ignore you. So you have to go in and go, okay, follow me, and then bring them into the room and say, okay, now go there. And that happened a little too often. And
When you tell them what to do, they always do it. If they go clear a room, they'll take out pretty much every guy in there.
Yeah.
They hardly ever go down. I think we healed our teammates like 3 times or something like that. If you're not using them, then they're an annoyance. But if you are using them, they're deadly.
The set pieces weren't there for me. Like, I felt like in the first game there were more memorable areas. In this one, I kind of felt a little bit like Fear, you know, where all the maps seemed a little bit same-ish, even though they were in different locales. And, you know, even though we just played through everything yesterday, I go back and I think about it, and I can only think of 1 or 2 really memorable areas.
they didn't make as much use of the spectacle of Vegas as much, I thought.
It didn't bother me as much as I thought it would, and maybe it's because I don't like Vegas all that much, but like I actually, I do sort of miss that a bit from the first game, but I think they present better gameplay opportunities, more flanking.
Everywhere that you went was specifically designed so that you had at least 2 entry points. You know, there weren't really any choke points that you couldn't do get some sort of tactical advantage on the terrorists with.
Double time. Over there, Roger. Go, go, go.
So the levels, I would have to say, the level design overall is a little bit better. It's just not, it's the feeling of them isn't better though.
I thought it was cute that, like, you know, it was a Major League Gaming tournament that you were running through.
What the hell? Double time.
A lot of the environment in Vegas is rock solid, and doesn't budge. Like, even the cars are these sort of like totally static objects. Everybody in Vegas drives a Dodge.
Yes, again. Right.
And Dodges only explode in very specific ways. But the tech is so good that when it does things like that, you're like, huh, that was kind of odd. And it just takes one tiny little thing to take you out of that. If you weren't crazy about the narrative, I think you like Terrorist Hunt. It'll throw you into an environment and say, okay, there are 30 guys in here, go find them.
Right.
But it jacks the AI up something chronic. I mean, they're like Jedi mind skills terrorists at this point.
Flashbang! Another down.
It's more of a creep through very cover-oriented, like completely different.
So does it has more of a tactical feel
It's
just
a lot
because the
more
enemy AI
tactical.
is so brutal?
I mean, the bulk of the attention looks like it went on the multiplayer. So they overhauled co-op, they overhauled terrorist hunt, but then multiplayer, the first big thing that a lot of people are going to love is you can invite into ranked games now, which is huge. If you're in the lobby of a ranked game and it's basically empty, you can invite a bunch of people, and anyone that accepts the invite is automatically put on your team.
Nice.
Cool. So did you try the two new modes?
No.
So there's there's 3 modes. There's team leader, which is a bit like Counter-Strike VIP. You have a team and your captain, and if the captain kills someone on the opposing team, they can't respawn. If the captain is killed, then the rest of the team can't respawn. So it starts off as an extraction game and then works its way into a war of attrition. What you find is at the beginning it's like everyone bundling into the middle of the map and the captain holding back, but everybody, because they know they're going to respawn in a few seconds. Once the captains are gone, the dynamic of the game completely changes, because then suddenly everything will go quiet for a while because nobody's shooting and nobody's doing anything. They're hiding and trying to work out where people are and telling each other where people are hiding. So the whole thing shifts over the course of a game. And then all the others are in. There's extraction and the usual team deathmatch, and there's maps from the previous game and some new ones. And so I think the bulk of the attention went into the online stuff, because honestly I think most Rainbow Six fans play online. I know guys that used to play Rainbow Six 3 on Xbox, and I don't think ever played the single player game. With all the Rainbow Six games, I get so into it that you really start to notice these little tiny things about it, but I think that's testament to how good it is overall.
Right. A lot of people are saying that maybe this is too much like an expansion pack, but that's not how I felt when I was playing it. I felt like it was a complete experience, and the multiplayer's all there, so I wouldn't. If you like the first game, you should definitely check this one out.